The pec minor and major that we're trying to massage here runs just off the front of the shoulder, similar to the placement of my hand. Put the tennis ball into this area, find a tender spot, and then rub your hand side to side over the tennis ball to try to massage that tender area. Focus on the positioning of your neck and breathing past the tender area when you do this. This muscle runs just to the side of your neck, above your collarbone. That's where you should try to place the tennis ball or the knotted face cloth. Using your opposite hand, go side to side over the tender areas, trying not to hold your breath. You can move your neck side to side. Place the tennis ball into a long sock, put it over the shoulder against the wall, finding different tender areas to the back of the shoulder, to the back of the shoulder blade, or the back of the neck. You control the amount of pressure put through the ball based on how much you lean into it. You can also add shoulder movements. Use the other hand if you have that much mobility to try to control the ball. You can also add in some neck movements if there are some tender areas into the back of your neck. This release works for any tender areas in your armpit or your lats or anything on the side of your shoulder. Start with the peanut tennis ball set up, go on to your side and find a tender area. You can move your arm in any direction to try to release some of those tender areas. Here you'll see me move my body side to side or my arm in different orientations. Play with it a little bit for a minute or so, breathing throughout. This is a release for the muscles at the back of your upper neck that will be tight with a forward head posture. You're going to take your peanut tennis ball set up and lie onto your back. Some of you might want to use a pillow here to decrease the pressure through the tight tender muscle. Here I'm nodding my head, I'm rotating side to side. Even just to lie with general pressure through that area will help to release the tender spots. This shouldn't create a headache or cause any sharp pain, so start gentle. This muscle runs in the front of your forearm. Place two taped tennis balls together down onto your lap, and then your forearm onto that, rolling the tender areas up and down and side to side. Using your other hand, you can take the wrist through flexion and extension to add more pressure through the tennis ball. Here we're stretching the back of the shoulder. With the other arm, pull the elbow away from the shoulder that's being stretched, just until you feel the resistance in the back of the shoulder. Breathe through that resistance. You can have your palm up or your palm down. The progression of this exercise is when you lay the other hand over top of the arm that's being stretched to push it into internal rotation more. This should increase the stretch in the back of the capsule, as you can see better from the front here. Get both arms up onto a counter, a chair. Keeping your spine as neutral as possible, push your body down to the ground, trying to stretch into your armpit and your lat. You can rotate a little right and left to bias each side, trying to extend through your T-spine as hard as that is here. Muscle found in the front of the chest, putting my hand and elbow up against the wall, moving my weight forward and twisting slightly away from the shoulder that's being stretched, breathing the entire time. The next is a regression, just putting the hand on the wall at a comfortable height and again twisting away from that shoulder. This is a stretch for the side of your neck. Place your arm behind your back as far as is comfortable. Look up to the ceiling and away from the side that you're trying to stretch. Only whatever is comfortable for your neck, trying to increase the tension to the side of the muscle on your neck. Maintaining deep abdominal breaths throughout. I change the position of my neck to change the stretch. Place the band on the wrist crease. Increase the tension by bending your elbow. Push your hand down into max flexion while increasing the tension in the band. You can hold this for a few breath cycles. Same idea, but palm up. Keeping the band on the forearm. Great exercise to warm up before any type of chest routine or if you have stiff wrists. This is a more advanced stretch for the back of the shoulder and your posterior capsule. Start with the shoulder at around 90 degrees or as close to 90 degrees as you can comfortably get. The elbow should be at 90 degrees as well. Push down on the forearm with the other arm until you feel a comfortable stretch in the back of the shoulder. You can also push up slightly with that other arm to increase the stretch. Place one arm behind your back, your low back. Place the other arm out in front of you to stretch out your lat. Set your shoulder blade and your neck. Try to rotate your shoulder, your neck, and your thoracic spine at the same time. Timing this with a breath in and out. Trying not to hold your breath at all throughout the movement. Start with your knees bent to 90 degrees and your toes pointing towards the ceiling. Keep one arm as straight as you can at your side. Put some tension into the band and start raising the arm above your head as far as you can comfortably. Try to focus on keeping your spine as flat as you can against the mat. Same thing with your head and your shoulder blades. You can add in arm and leg movement once you feel confident with just the arm movement, and then switch to the other side. Start by creating a little tension in the band, thumbs facing forward. Create a neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Lift the shoulder as far as is comfortable. Try not to fall forward as you put all of that weight into the right shoulder here. You can add in arm and leg movements again once you feel confident with just the arm movements. Next, we're going to be using the foam roll to increase our thoracic extension. One arm at a time, raise the arm above your head while extending over the towel roll or foam roll. Focus on breathing throughout this movement. Next, you're going to put the foam roll vertically along your spine. Where the towel roll stops is the segment that's increasing the mobility. And then we lift both arms overhead and trying to increase our thoracic extension at the same time. Again, breathing deeply into our lower abdominals here. In this exercise, we're trying to teach each segment of the spine how to both flex and extend while being on all fours. We can allow a little bit of neck movement and pelvis movement at the end of both end ranges. This should be comfortable and not painful. Don't push through any type of pain here. Trying to be aware of your breathing, getting that breath as low down into your abdominals as possible. This is a good exercise for your neck posture, to do a chin tuck to teach what your neck neutral spine should look like. You're going to use a towel rolled up and do a chin tuck into the towel roll. You get a nice stretch when you bring your chin up to the ceiling. Hold this for a few breath cycles at each end of range. You can also hold the chin tuck and then rotate right and left.